Привет, водка, борщ. Хорошо. Пожалуйста. До свидания. Как дела? This is Secret Sauce, the new and improved Secret Sauce. If you've never seen my stream or you've never seen any of the Secret Sauce episodes or uploads on YouTube, this is live. We record this live, so if you're wondering who I'm randomly speaking to sometimes, that is chat right here. I'm reading live chat as they comment right here. We're making borscht. Borscht is a Ukrainian soup, but very common in Russia and Ukrainian cuisine. Typically made with red beets, cabbage, potatoes, carrots, onion, and red meat. So that's what we're doing. I'm gonna start just by browning the meat. I need some oil. I'm gonna use avocado oil because it has a high smoke point or high heat point, high smoke heat point. Somebody correct me, please. The recipe I'm using calls for 300 grams of meat. This is a little over 300, but I didn't want to like just take a chunk of meat. I'm actually using boneless short ribs. How did you decide to go bone in or boneless? I actually wanted bone, but the store didn't have any, so I went boneless. Wow, that's already hot. Yes. All right, I'm gonna get some water. The first time I made borscht live, I did not peel the potato skin. Why? Because this is a never-ending debate in cooking. To keep the potato skin or to not keep the potato skin. I think it's preference. It's all a personal preference. You could peel towards and away from you with that peeler. You just saw me do that, didn't you? Yeah, I go back and forth. I feel like towards me is, I always go slower. So I typically go away, but sometimes it's nice to have, the option, right? So it says to fill up about 2/3 of the pot with water. The cool thing about this recipe, like many recipes, is that every family kind of has their own version of how to make this. Some people use regular green cabbage, some use red cabbage, some don't use meat, some do. Some people put beans in it. Like there's so many, some omit the potatoes completely. There's so many different ways you can make this recipe. So you can experiment and see what you like. That's about 2/3. We're gonna let that boil. So, like I said, every family has a different variation of this recipe. I'm trying these potatoes this time, russet potatoes. They actually take longer to cook. So I definitely want to throw these in earlier than the other vegetables. Rinsing. Let's do this. And you know what? I'm gonna go for smaller pieces. I'm gonna go for smaller pieces of potatoes this time. It'll be more delicate, not as chunky. All right, our potatoes are ready. To not let these get ugly, we're gonna put them in a bowl with water. Okay, so you see this brown stuff floating? If if you ever make soup or a broth, you want to scoop all this off, this scum, soup scum, meat scum off the top. And I'm actually going to turn this up more because this is taking longer than I thought. Onion. All right, so now it's boiling. It's really boiling. You see all this? Why don't I just do that? Okay, you see that? Those are all the impurities. You want to do this anytime you make any kind of meat, fish, broth, soup, anything like that. Bring it to a boil, scoop off all that scum. The person who sent me this recipe, they said they put the onion in whole. I'm not gonna do that. I love onion. I'm gonna chop the onion up. And oh no! Oh no! All right, we're ready now. This onion wasn't that big. I'm gonna do the whole onion. So this isn't, we're not doing a super huge portion of the borscht. So I'm gonna use like probably a quarter head of cabbage. Oh, I love the smell of cabbage. Like I said, borscht can be done many different ways. Every family has their own recipe. Some use red cabbage or purple cabbage, and some use green or white cabbage. I'm using the green one. And you don't need to thin it, like, you know, cabbage cooks so quickly. It doesn't need to be super thin, I don't think. But I do think that, like, the strips like this are a nice consistency, nice size. You know, you don't want to like put that all, you know, make it bite size. There you go. I think that's a good size. This recipe didn't have tomato. I'm gonna put some tomato. Yeah, tomato. We need the carrot. My nose is running. I could still smell the onions. All right, so the recipe said either 1 big beet or 2 small. I'm doing 3 because these are like tiny. These are really small. Oh, you know what I have? Yes! This glove my friend gave me. She saw me using the mandolin on stream and she was like, "Do you have the glove?" I said, "What glove, man?" It's so if you nick yourself, you don't like completely bleed to death. All right. All right, I'm adding the cabbage. Not the one that fell on the floor. Yum. Bay leaf, laurel, black peppercorns. I should have added the peppercorns earlier with the meat. Oh well. I've got a good secret. I'm coming up with a good secret for this borscht, and I'm not gonna tell you. So added all those vegetables, it's of course not simmering. I'm gonna turn it up for a little bit until it starts to boil again. And in the meantime, this needs to be rinsed immediately. I mean, the soup is more or less done. I'm gonna let it go 8 more minutes, and then I'm gonna take out all the meat, take it out, let it cool down, shred it by hand, and then put it back inside. Oh yes, it's looking good. It is looking good. Oh, it's falling apart. This is perfect. I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited for this. Here we go. Let's see how it turned out. And I can still see where we seared the meat. It's still nice and brown. A little crispy. Yes, look at this. Look at this. I could have actually left it even longer. I could have left it another, I wasn't sure. I could have left it another 15 minutes, especially because this is like a really fat piece of meat and you don't typically use such a fat piece of meat. But yeah, it's, ooh, this is gonna be good. Oh, look at it pulling apart. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Oh, yes. Oh man, this is gonna be way better than the last time I made it. I can't wait for this. And I know I salted the soup itself, but you know, it was a big chunk of meat. Throw it back in. Yes, it's looking delicious. So usually this recipe has 2 steps because what happens typically is you add all the vegetables in and the beets lose their color the longer they cook. And a large part of this recipe is how beautiful it is and how vibrant it is. So on the side, at the end, you prepare like a second pot where you do some tomato sauce, garlic, oil, like that, and you have it on the side. And then at the very end, you put it in and it kind of recolors it. Let's do that now. So I prepared this earlier already. It's just some olive oil. You could use vegetable oil. I use as little vegetable oil as I can, and garlic. And I bet you this smells good because now it's been sitting there for like 2 hours. So olive oil infused with garlic. The best smell on earth. Turn this on. And then I need to get some tomato paste. Room temperature water, already ready to go. I know that's browning. So it's browned, add some tomato paste. This is the tomato paste from the can, but you can definitely add tomato paste from the tube as well. It's the same. It's gonna be just as good. I'm gonna add some water. And sugar. Oh, more pepper. I forgot. A little more salt. Is it a 10-hour borscht or 2-hour borscht? Either way, it's bomb. So I did it a little bit differently this time. I slow cooked the meat for about 2 hours, seared it first, then slow cooked it for about 2 hours, and then added all the vegetables. The last like 45 minutes I added the potatoes and then the beets and everything else like towards the last 30 to 15 minutes. So it's been simmering, low heat. It's gonna be delicious. I'm so excited. And look at that. So a lot of times when you're at this step, you're not gonna get this color. It's the beet color is already gone. It's gonna be way more muddy looking. Even this, the color has started to fade a little bit, and I can already tell you right now that I'm gonna shred just like not even a whole beet, just a little bit of one. Okay, so watch this. Check this out. I'm gonna show you guys. This is how it's gonna change when you add this mixture. It's not gonna change that much because the tomato paste is still really red. We're getting that olive oil and garlic in there. It just looks more oily, right? So, watch it change. Oh. Oh, you don't even see it that much. I see a big difference. This webcam is scuffed. But anyways, it looks great. And I'm going to add all of this. There you are. Are you ready to try this? Oh, so I'm doing a small bowl because have not eaten dinner. So I'm gonna do this for the stream, taste it, then end the stream, kill all this stuff, and then like sit down and eat proper, but it's not done yet. Then typically it's served with sour cream, like that. It's typically served with sour cream on the top like this, and dill, fresh dill sprinkled on top. I do not like dill. I am not a fan. So, a family I know that is Russian, they put cilantro or coriander. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. You get the same color, and I love cilantro. I feel so bad for anybody that has that genetic disorder where it tastes like soap to you. I pity you. It's so sad. Oh yes, chat. Are you ready? And then you just mix that in, that sour cream in. All right, are you ready? Oh man. Oh yes. Dude. Oh my goodness. It's so delicate. It's really like it's not a different dish, but it is a different dish. When you shred the meat, it's a different texture. You need black bread. Dude, I agree with you, but it's so hard to find that typical Russian black bread here. I found it at a few stores, but they put too much sugar in it here. It does not taste the same. Borodinsky? I actually made like a Russian dinner at some point. Not even a dinner, I just did like meze, Russian meze for dinner one night a few months back with that brown bread. Borodinsky, but it's not the same, I'm telling you, it's too sweet. I've been to Ukraine once. I've been to Odessa and Kiev, and I've been to Russia twice. The first time I went to like 8 or 9 cities. The second time I only went to Moscow. Привет, водка, борщ, хорошо, пожалуйста, до свидания, как дела? Thank you everybody for watching. This is Secret Sauce, the new and improved camera setup, plus a new table. We're centered, not to the side anymore. I'm gonna end the stream and actually sit down to enjoy this, because I deserve it. Alright you guys, thanks again for watching. This is super fun. If you're new here, don't forget to not only turn your notifications on, but follow my YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube too. We do edits of all of this, so you can see this again later. All right. Thanks, everybody. Oh, so close. So close. It almost happened.
Goodbye.